Hi everyone, Reese here. So, here to record another video. This is still on the demo, so obviously the new game comes out basically today. So, it's a bit of an act of futility, but there was just a couple of things I wanted to cover about the mechanics that I found that I left out of the last game, and I thought I'd throw it into this one, as well as finish off the walkthrough of the demo, which so I did the first level in the previous video. This walkthrough will cover the second level. So the first thing is you can more or less infinitely climb walls if you dash into them, jump away, and then dash back into the wall. So getting vertical height, I mean, this wall's not a great example because of the little ledge there, it's kind of hard to get around. But getting vertical height in this game won't be an issue. And also because of that, you can sort of more or less infinitely run along any length of wall that you require. So that was something that I meant to speak about, but I left out. And if I can find a good section to show you, I also found that it might be, if there was a long section of wall you had to traverse, it might be quicker to crouch dash into the wall in sort of quick succession. So crouching when you're wall running will just drop you straight off the wall. It doesn't do anything other than just remove your ability to hold onto the wall. But because you're no longer on the wall, you can dash like again. How did I do that? How did I do that? Getting this skip has been almost impossible for me, and I just accidentally got it. That's hilarious. I mean, that's great. I'll go over that in a minute, but basically, this is something that I was dreading trying to make in this video, because the way I've been doing that skip has been much more difficult than that, and it results in me getting here one every like 10 times. But yeah, this is just a skip that some speedrunners have found that lets you skip basically the entirety of this level, just by dashing and then you're sort of more or less onto the next part. So that's fantastic. There's probably no good sections for me to describe this crouch dashing thing, but I mean, that's a bit of an example. You could sort of see it there. He sort of like wobbles along the wall like that, and I think that might be faster, so it's hard to say because there's no really long sections to test it on, but yeah, there's potential that will be a faster form of movement for being on walls. And this is basically the end of the demo, is through this last level. So this last level is sort of severely separated from the rest of the game. It's all in cyberspace, and there's a lot of interesting little bits of tech and some little skips and things to speak about in this level. The first and most important is that there is no dash while you're in here, which means the only form of edge boosting you have access to is with the crouch. So you've got to crouch across a ledge and then jump as you move off it. You can't do that with the dash. And because you have no dash, your sort of like crouch hopping is the fastest you can move. And there's lots of options in this level so like this, instead of just crouch hopping the whole way, you have the option to take an angle here and ledge boost off little ledges that appear all over the place. Instead of following this around, a ledge boost, a decent ledge boost with enough momentum will launch you. You get the idea. It'll launch you straight across to here. The same goes here. Instead of going around to the right, you can just ledge boost off that. And the same goes here. Instead of following the entire path, you can ledge boost twice and you're through. So much quicker. Same deal here. Ledge boosting instead of going across. I have not seen, nor have I come up with a good way of dealing with this. Just because they're so small that I think if you were going to try and jump to them, you'd have to be crazily precise. There's lots of options for ledge boosting here. This is a really cool little section because the checkpoints suck. because the bridge that forms sort of I guess fills in as you walk along it. It's hard to plan where the little edges you can ledge boost on are, and you've just got to sort of see. I missed one there. And just keeping an eye out, looking for the edges. Here's one. So I got a ledge boost there. There was another one there, and so there's lots of little ledges that appear as you go that let you sort of get that ledge boost, but it's hard to spot them. In the previous video, I spoke about so close. The momentum on these platforms, if they're moving backwards, so while this is moving towards that platform, my jump off it will be vastly increased, and likewise, this was moving away from that platform, so any jump would have not been the greatest. I spoke in the previous video about about how field of vision is extremely helpful. Field of view being much higher, because if you play with it reduced, jumping up these things can be quite disorientating, trying to work out where things are. However, if it's maxed, it's much clearer as you go up them where everything is situated within the room. And that's more or less what I was talking about in the previous episode when I was talking about field of view in further points in the game. 120 is a bit much for me. I still play on 110. There's a skip here if you can make it. Oops. There's a skip there if you can. I've obviously missed the opportunity to do it, but you can catch that ledge and just climb up, which is fine. So it's a good little skip. Another skip or optimization would be, instead of going to this platform, to use that hidden bit to get this key. Again, if you get that key, you don't need to do any of this. It just spawns this. Spawns. Which cube does it spawn? It spawns the second cube. And deletes that one, I think, because I don't think there's another key box. I think this one you can ledge boost off the first and then land on one of those greens. I can't remember though, because the skip is the optimal way to do it. So that one I did a short ledge boost because otherwise I'd fly off. Whoops, that one I failed completely. And knowing which direction to face once you hit a jump pad is going to be pretty important in these levels. So we know that we've got to hit. Obviously, if you're actually playing, you'd be crouch hopping the whole way here. But I'm just sort of walking through, so I have time to speak about it. So again, I came from that direction, walked this way. I need to know that I have to turn around here to get to here. Jump up here. I need to know that I've got to go this way. I think you can ledge boost off that little corner, but I haven't been very good at it. This one's the bane of my existence. Is a ledge boost that comes off of this edge as I mutilate myself. Ledge boost comes off of that ledge and lands on an invisible green way further down the road. I should also say that there's no wall run in here, which is probably obvious, but since I haven't been using it, but just so it's out in the open. Okay, yeah, so that's one ledge boost, and then there's another one which I'm not going to bother with because I get it so infrequently. You can ledge boost, I think, if you've got enough momentum. I think you have to start at the back and walk to the edge so that you've got the momentum. You can get to there, but I fuck it up endlessly, and This video will be 10 hours long if I go for that. So you can do a short ledge hop. Oh. You can do a short ledge hop and go to an intermediate one, which is sort of much safer. And then the level's about to end. It's just one final comment is that as you come up through this hole in the floor here, this marks the edges. If you hold the direction you're facing when you hit the jump pad, you sort of skate up the wall, like you are, you know, your face is grinding up the wall as you gain altitude. And then as you come up over this lip, you'll grab the lip and mantle over it like you do when you reach an edge in the game, rather than having your momentum carry you up and land. So it's good to sort of force yourself up against the wall as you go, so that you mantle instead of wasting all that time floating through the level. Anyway, so if you're watching, thanks for watching. This is the end of the demo, and that's probably the last I'll have to say about the demo, but hopefully some of this information's been useful, and hopefully some of it carries through into the full release. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone.